welcome to Enterprise Morning on Enterprise Television, reaching you from the heart of Lagos. I am Kende Bodering.
And I am Henry Ibibike.
All right, so it is a beautiful day to stay informed and inspired. We will begin with a newspaper review, and right after that, we will dive into our main conversation for the day. Do not forget to join the conversation, drop your comments, and do well to follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. So to dissect this with us, we have our ever-present Barrister Evans Ufeli. You're welcome. He is a public affairs analyst. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, so Henry will be looking at the Guardian newspaper, and the first story we have here, that's on the top strip, we have Atiku Falana kick as NYSC defense withheld certificates.
Yes, and also the big story we have from Broad Street to Atlantic City. Congestion, asset depreciation push HNI's business to echo Atlantic City.
Wow. So we also have U.S. condemns killing of Christians in Nigeria, vows decisive action.
And also EFCC raids a hotel in Obasanjo Library, management threatened lawsuit.
Wow. Okay, we also have Abiodun Daniel over demolition notices on property.
Yeah, that was on the top strip of the Guardian newspaper. And on the bottom strip, we have cracks widen in ADC coalition as Shekarau allies consider new platform.
Okay, we still have one more story, and it's on a landmark vaccine trial raises hope for cancer patients.
Beautiful. So where do we start from?
Okay, I think we should start from the Atiku Falana kick as the NYC defense withheld certificate. So our ever-present barrister, I would like us to take this story, and I just want to ask you this question. Is this a witch hunt to Rita Ogwamaye? Because, you know, the story was involving her. You know, there was a time she came
Yeah,
online.
I know. Yeah, I think the NYC, they are playing to the gallery. The law that set up the NYC talked about 1 year compulsory service to your nation after graduation, which is compulsory. And everyone, if you cannot even secure a government job if you have not served.
Yes.
And in some private institutions too, if you have not served, you will not even be, enlisted. Because you have not served your country, except you are exempted. Exemption could be by several grounds, either age or health and every other thing that is involved in that. So she has done her 12 months, which is 1 year. And now she went there with her colleagues, those who were enlisted with her at the same time. And they say her certificate is not ready, that she has no certificate rather. So I think this calls for litigation. By now, NYC should be above board. Because the nonsense they are trying to do now is they are trying to fight for the president, who did not send them to go and fight for him. Because I don't think that what that guy said is wrong. It's what we say all the time in our closet. Just that so many persons don't have the balls and the guts to say these things in public. And then get vilified or get punished accordingly. Some people, they read a part of the NYC Act that says that corpers are not expected to protest or they are not expected. It's protest. The law didn't say they cannot complain. Yes. And so what she said, was it the truth or not? It was a hard truth. She said the hard truth. Lagos was smelling, or is still smelling. The president is a terrible president. He's still a terrible president. You understand? I've been saying this all the time. As a terrible president. They have not come to deny me anything. Or maybe one day they will deny me entrance to Abuja. Because the president is a terrible president. That's the truth. The cost of living inflation, the fall of the Naira, the removal of subsidy, everything was done in 1 day. The whole country collapsed. It takes a terrible president to take such decisions. And they're not consequently, not knowing what he's doing again about how to, tackle the problem and redeem the citizens out of that very serious, impulsive decision that took the country backward. A terrible president. So now what they want to do is to put her under pressure. You understand? She became depressed. She said she was in the house, in her room for days before she came out to take a walk and the rest of that. Okay, that even of our family, she would have walked away. We don't want, she doesn't want. That's the same thing they did to Shore. Shore served in Adamawa State, in Yola. During that period, was having the Adamawa State television, where he went on air to say things wrong about the government. And they punished him, they dragged him, locked him up. And it was just, how old was he then? He was in his 20s. When they did all that to him, on the day he was to go and collect the certificate, they said he does not have a certificate. So he started causing commotion. Then they bundled him there to the prison. So the same thing. They're not different from that. And so the same story is back now again to say that this week there's going to be nationwide protests on that issue. My friend Enibeya Fiong has been briefed to file a suit against the federal government on the issue. So the days to come is going to be another vista of human rights violation and enforcement of fundamental rights in the days to come. So we'll get ready that the news is going to be on that direction. Yeah, because the girl cannot be left alone. There's a lot of people backing her. What she said is a fair comment. It's only in Nigeria that when you say things that, when you say the truth, people will come against you. Because even the citizens don't want the truth. The citizens love their oppressors. The citizens like to be oppressed, to make sure that their suffering does not abate. Suffering is a vitamin. It vitalizes and motivates them. I don't know I don't know how long they think they can suffer.
But Barrister, not holding a brief for the NYSC regarding the feud between Raye and the NYSC. The NYSC has come up to state that she missed her clearance for 2 months. And because of that is the reason she has been denied her certificate. They've got more than enough proof. You must attend your clearance.
Yes.
It is there. And if she had missed it twice or for 2 months, then the NYSC have the prerogative to stop her from not getting her certificate.
Then she missed her clearance twice. Is it proven?
For 2 months.
For 2 months.
For 2 months.
Yes.
Is it proven? Because this girl we are talking about, there was a time she was being, I don't know whether it's that period that she missed it rather, but there was a time she was being threatened. Okay? She was being threatened and all that. And she went through a lot of trials and tribulations, as it were. So I don't know how true the story is that. Okay, the NYSC released that report. Yes, after
she
the
had
news
said all
broke
of
out.
that,
Yeah, that's true. And then after the news broke out. So, but it's subject to litigation. Let the court be a third party to look at it. And let NYSC prove it. Because it's not enough to just write it. Because that's just a story, more like a damage control. That's what I think. Yes, because I know that clearance is compulsory. We all went through this thing. It's compulsory. So the days to come, we'll find out whether truly she missed her. When you miss your clearance, usually what they do is to give you an extension. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Was she giving an extension?
Well, we are yet to know what
They didn't give her any extension.
We're here to hope what would happen.
They did not give her an extension.
Yes.
Because if they had given her extension, she would have said, why are people giving me extension?
Exactly.
This one, they allow everything to go as if it was normal. It was when she got there with her colleague that her colleague all came back with theirs and she had none. Is it at that point that extension is, so
All right, so let's see how
come
that
and
goes. She is not the only one. About 100 and
I think 103 or 90.
yeah, of them actually were denied the certificate. So let's just see how that goes. It's a developing story, and right here on Enterprise Television, we promise to bring it to you as it unfolds. But let's get to other matters here. From Broad Street to Atlantic City, congestion, assets, and depreciation push HNI business to Eco Atlantic City. Of course, it was stated here that the Lagos real estate market is booming. Eco Atlantic in the 2000s used to a plot of land used to be sold for 180 million naira. Today it's 2 billion.
Yes.
Is this a big bubble that would one day burst, or are we?
It's a big bubble. You know the idea around the Eco Atlantic is the Dubai model that was copied. So the projection is the Dubai model, and that place used to be the Babbage of the yesteryears. Okay, unfortunately, they chased the water away. Okay, and now we have bare land that you need to. If you even sell your kidney, too, and even your heart, you cannot buy a square meter there. You understand? So it has become a very big, a huge. Well, you know the advantage is that so many people will go there. People that have money, businessmen and all will buy properties there. And when they buy properties there, artisans, will be employed to work. Employment. People who sell will go there to sell. Okay. A lot of businesses will move to that direction. Okay. I learned there's even a school inside the university there. Already. Yeah, there are medical facilities in there. So, I mean, for the bourgeois, for the very wealthy, they need to have a place where that can be exclusively called theirs. Since Banana Island is now all commerce affair, even though land there is in billions, still, you understand? There are people, very rich people, are saying that this Banana Island that we are, a lot of miscreants who say they are rich people are here now. We want to leave. It used to be Ikoyi before. When Ikoyi became what it became, people move to Banana Island. Yeah. So sometimes this is about ego. Okay, and ego is good for business. Okay. Yeah, ask business people. That is why you see the design, the Ferrari, the Lamborghini, they give them different kind of design. In 2-3 years, you see a different design. In 2-3 years, you see a different design. Okay, so some persons, they are competing with friends. Okay, yes. Wow. They are driving the Ferrari of this year. There's 2 other versions that is out. So yours is already out. And the moment you invent something, it's already outdated. Anything you invent, the day you drive it out, it's going So that's people, because people that have the means are competing at that level.
Yes, but let's take a look at this. As much as we enjoy the glamour and the glitz, a foreign writer described Lagos as a big urban slum, and equally coupled with our own Scott Iguma, who said that Lagos is not New York. Lagos is still smelling. No drainage system, no central drainage system, no water, nothing. So why would an Eco Atlantic, which is a subset of this big urban mess, is over-bloated?
It's over-bloated because the demand for real estate is high. You see, what Scott Iguma may not be able to tell you is that there was a time when New York was like Lagos. See, it does not matter whether it's New York or Lagos. In business, the catch is demand. You understand? See, the principles of business knows no geography. Even if it's in my village, and as long as demand is high, price will rise above prices of things in Lagos. So it's not New York, it's not Lagos, it's not that, it's demand and supply. The principle of demand and supply, in those days when we were being taught, I told my PA that I'm going back to school. Now if I'm going to go back to school, I'll go and study economics. But I'll not finish, I'll just stop halfway. I don't need to finish, you understand? Because you see, demand and supply itself is a whole course. You understand? There's a cause they call purchasing and supply. Demand and so that's why you see human behavior in sales and purchase. So it's not about, it doesn't have to be New York or anywhere. It's about demand and supply. So what is the demand high?
So despite the environmental whatever, you know, once the demand is there, every other thing is neglected.
It's neglected, yes, because the environment, it's government that will fix the environment. You understand? But once private public demand is high, you know, people will spend money on those items. So it is the government that will now have to catch up to make sure that the environment, the road, the planning is put in place. Everybody wants to have a piece of the Atlantic.
Yes.
It's everybody's dream. And look at the location. Look at the kind of houses being built there. I mean, won't you be proud and be happy that in Nigeria, in Lagos, somewhere like that exists? I mean, if just for the glees, not because you are living there, but because, you know, it's part of development. So that is it.
All right. Upon that, let's move to another paper. What else we have?
Okay. We have Punch.
No, let's start with the Daily Trust newspaper.
Okay,
yes.
On the top strip, we have Israel's Gaza seizure, plan another calamity, UN.
Yes. So let's just take that story for the want of time.
Okay, so Barrister, for this story, there is this question I really want to ask, and I know you're going to do justice to it. So, could this Gaza land seizure trigger a larger regional conflict in the Middle East?
Have you ever heard that a conflict has abated in the Middle East?
No.
So you already have the answer now. Now, we're saying that Israel should, you know, the ceasefire pact that they had before now, that they should maintain it, and the rest of that. People are going on and violating, because sometimes the politicians will come out and tell the world that they have spoken to their people, everything. You understand? In one breath, they are saying that in another breath, you find them doing a different thing entirely. You understand? So this is going to spark fresh conflict, because more conflict is coming. Okay? I mean, Gaza itself have been under siege for how many years now? Has been under siege for close to 20 years. So are we expecting anything different now that they are beating the drums of war again to continue? So that whole part, the entire world knows that for conflict to abate in the Middle East generally, it will take a lot. You understand? It will take a lot. There was this guy that did an analysis on the issue. I was driving when he said that Jesus Christ is a Palestine boy from Palestine. You understand? Now, I know that Bethlehem used to be outside Palestine. But when I went to do the research, I discovered that Bethlehem is actually in Palestine, and the guy is correct. Yes. If you look at the map, so the guy is correct. So there are so many narratives up there. But I think the Gaza thing is, as long as it's land dispute, you know what land dispute is. It will go to our courts here, you see. The cases that they say, he abused me, those ones are small. They are just more than 1% in our courts. The matters that, when you say our courts are congested, land matter. There's nothing we have not seen in land. So, as long as it has to do with land, boundary, and all that, people will kill themselves. There will be war upon war. You understand? So, I don't see any conflict abating in that area. I see more conflict, more disagreement, and people are going to read their history and say, no, this was our ancestors, this is our, this and all that. So it's a whole lot that's going on there.
A very big issue there, an international one, and one would wonder if this would ever, come to a resolution anytime soon, especially now that the big sheriff, J. Donald Trump, is on the side of Israel. Let's see how this goes. Barrister, let's take a look at other matters. Options for banks as recapitalization pressure amounts. The CBN has taken the recapitalization at 1 trillion Naira for every commercial bank.
Yeah.
How many of these our banks can wrestle through that?
For the past 10 months now, that conversation has been on. You understand? The last time we did a recapitalization was in, I think that was in 2000 and, is it 2004, 2005?
Yeah, during Soludo's era.
It was 2004, thereabouts.
About 25 billion.
Yes, 25 billion to recapitalize that time. And to have 25 billion that time, that was when many banks, four banks, had to.
They were about 90 something then.
Yes.
They had to.
They were about 90 something.
Yeah.
Yes, and they had to compress themselves to the point where the Standard Bank of this world, we lost that bank to UBA. They merged, and many of them merged. Now, today, we are looking at 1 trillion. 1 trillion. That 1 trillion, how many banks are going to survive it? I learned that 4 or 5 are already there. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to have more recapitalization. At the end of the day, you may not have more than 10 banks.
And is this good for economy?
Well, I don't think so. But it is the security. It is the security of capital and the security of people's money that is targeted at. But even at that, when a bank collapses, because this recapitalization thing, we need to be educated more on it. When a bank collapses, what NDIC will do is to give you half of the money you have. Okay? Then AMCON will take over asset and liability. Then they will now tell you that when they dispose of the assets of the bank, but you never ever get that part. You understand? So, but with 1 trillion, are you saying that if anything happens, the funds belongs to the citizens is guaranteed 100%? Is that what it is? I don't think that's what it is.
No, it's not looking.
Yeah, I don't think that's what it is, because at the end of the day, you are still not there. So, the recapitalization is good, but it should not lead to. They should not use it to deepen unemployment. Because if the banks that are not able to recapitalize and they are not able to merge, because we have that.
Yeah, we had that. Yeah, we had that.
You are not able to recapitalize, you are not able to merge. So what now happens to people's funds there? So will NDIC give 100% of deposits? So, I mean, they should look at this thing very well. Many of the banks are doing well in their own capacity. Okay. But I know that it's not all of them that's on trillion. I mean, the commercial banks, the mortgage banks, the other one, community banks, and the other banks. Those ones have their own categories.
Yeah, very well. The microfinances and all
microfinance, yeah. You cannot put all this digital bank at 1 trillion.
No, definitely.
They will collapse overnight. So, the commercial banks, okay. I don't know how to do this analysis, whether it's the right thing. I know they should know more about monetary policy, whether it's the best for the country, in the interest of the country. Because, I mean, they said how many percent of Nigerians have less than 500,000 Naira in their accounts and all that. That's a very serious matter. That means we have a labor market that is unproductive.
And especially at a time when purchasing power is very low, Nigerians do not have disposable income anymore.
No disposable income.
People are no longer saving.
The people are no longer saving. It's just about survival, just to eat, pay school fees, transport. Eat, pay school fees, transport. So how long are you going to do that? In a country that have this kind of economy. So that is why when people criticize the government, I mean, the government should be sorry, you understand, and do what it ought to do. Because in the same economy, you see how people living in opulence. You see how people earning so high and higher than, you know, the ordinary man on the street. So you will always have that anyway, but there's a way that this government should be able to bridge up what it is that citizens must have. And more importantly, to look at cost of living and see how to scale down the cost of food, especially. It has gone beyond this, you know. It has gone beyond what one can bear now. I mean, to buy food. Before, we used to save money for food before. Before now, I'll just do like this. How much do I have here for food? I don't think about it. Yes.
And you're able to get what
we don't save for food before. We don't save for food.
Some people even go ahead as, you know, doing this thrift contribution. That's actually, you call it a job.
To buy food.
To be able to, yes.
Before, they do it to buy lace.
Now, to buy food. They're even doing from August to December because they know that, okay, that December is always
for food.
Fun-filled moment, and they need to be, these things need to be available. So,
very crazy.
It has to be available because of children and the moment and all
you
that.
Know, some people will even come and visit you. So, right now, they don't even visit anybody now. Everybody just just use your hands to cover your face. Like, I don't need visitors.
When you do a job for food, it means things have really gone bad.
Very, very true.
So we actually save for that.
All right, just before we call it a wrap on this particular segment, let's take a look at other matters. On the bottom strip there, we have presidency dispels Tinubu's illness rumor. Barrister, is becoming very despicable that Nigerians and citizens do not or are not aware of how well their leader, the president, is doing. The other day, President Donald Trump had a little coloration on his arm. You know, the United States people were informed. This was what is wrong with our president. People prayed for him. King Charles, the same thing. He has prostate cancer. It was, of course, all over the place. In Nigeria, we do not know until the worst happens, which, of course, we pray doesn't happen. Why are we being restricted of information, very sensitive ones like this?
Secrecy in governance. You know, the other government, the government of Buhari, there was time they say rats to chase the president away. It was later that this man came out and said there was no rat or that they wanted to divert Nigerians' attention from the president's health.
Exactly, very true.
So you can see how shameless these people are. Now, our own, they don't allow us to even know the medical situation. The president is a public figure. By the Freedom of Information Act, you can apply for the medical report of the president. It's your right to see the medical report and know why it's not performing properly. You understand? But here, the president will even travel without handing over power to the deputy. He will just travel. You understand? Buhari did it many times. He did not transmit to the vice president. Some persons were somewhere defending it that the president can rule from anywhere in the world. You understand? Because the thing about spokesperson of the president here in Nigeria is that what they do is eye service. That job is eye service job in Nigeria. Just go and defend the president, don't worry. Plus anything you can say that put the president in a good place, go and say it. Don't worry, nothing will happen, and nothing will happen. So that's the job. So the spokesperson of the president will come and say anything they like. They will tell you that the president is going to Equatorial Guinea. Now, on his way back from Equatorial Guinea, he's going to stop by in London for a brief meeting. It's a lie. That brief meeting is going to the hospital. I'm telling you. You see, they don't tell Nigerians that on this day the president is going on a medical. They don't do that. They will tell you he's going to bring investors. But on his way back, he will stop by in France for a brief meeting. That brief meeting, that's the meeting that will be there for days. What he's doing is medical this. Because they know that if they say it's going for medical, opposition will pick it.
Yes.
You understand? Individual critics and all that will pick it. And they will flood the news and everywhere with the condition. Then they will add rumor to it. They will give the president one sickness from that. Since the officials have refused to say what is wrong.
Yes.
You know, nature abhors vacuum. In that vacuum, they will put something there. And that's what is wrong with the president. Then the president's people will now come and start to debunk. I mean, fighting opposition. I mean, saying all sorts. So what they just do now is not, it's going to Saudi Arabia.
Nothing is happening.
When you say Saudi Arabia, they know that there's an ongoing conversation for bilateral agreement. Then it will branch in France and all that. So all those things, the government don't trust the people. The people don't trust the government. You understand? So there's this deceit between overseas. They have no business covering it. You understand? They will state what is wrong, and that's all.
All right, we just hope that we will get to that level where the symbiosis between leaders and their people, especially Nigerians, would be very airtight. That's just about the time we have for this particular segment. When we return, states' foreign debt payments jump 68% to 235.58 billion naira in 6 months. That in a bit is still Enterprise Morning. Please don't go anywhere.
Right back.
This is still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. And our main conversation for today, we have it that the Nigerian state has spent 235.58 billion naira servicing external debts in the first half of 2025, a 68.4% rise from 139.92 billion naira in the same period of 2024, largely due to Naira's depreciation.
Okay, the federal government services these debts on behalf of states by automated deductions from their FAAC allocations. Now, Lagos led repayments with 49.58 billion naira, followed by River State, which is 26.34 billion naira. We also have Kaduna with about 24.47 billion naira. We have Ogun State, 12.57 billion naira, and Edo State, 10.18 billion naira together, and accounting for over half of the national total. And
also Jigawa, Benue, Yobe recorded the lowest repayments, though also sharp increases. Monthly payments peaked at 40.09 billion naira in January of 2025, over 4 times the January 2024 figure, before stabilizing at 39.10 billion from February to June.
Okay, so rising repayments are not limited to industrialized states, with Cross River, Bauchi, and Benue also making the top ranks. Analysts note that the exchange rate impact means states are paying more in naira for the same dollar debts, squeezing budgets and reducing funds for recurrent and capital projects.
And experts warn that without improved revenue generation, the growing debt service burden could threaten states' fiscal stability. And also that NATI and economic analysts highlight that several states with high debt burdens also receive relative low FAAC allocations, worsening debt to revenue ratio.
Okay, so they urge states to explore revenue bonds, maintain a register of national assets, and diversify income sources rather than rely on borrowing to avoid crowding out essential infrastructure and service spending.
All right, so let's get to do the talking. Still with us is Barrister Evans Sofeli. Thank you so much, Barrister, for hanging on.
Well.
Yeah, so let's look at the national debt of Nigeria. Lagos leads the pack with 900 billion, followed by Delta, 342 billion. In 2 months, Delta had an increase from 304 to 342 billion as debt that they are owing. Why all of this?
Well, you know, the funds of Delta State was frittered by Okowa when he embarked on that white elephant project to become the vice president of Nigeria, with Atiku that have no political capital in the last election. At the end of the day, the state went into serious debt. If you look at the debt profile of the state before that time and compare it to what happened, you know exactly what I'm saying. He spent 1.3 trillion naira recklessly. And it's before the EFCC has to speak on that issue. Okay? So all the atrocities that they did, they put it in the head of the state. Okay, and all that. Just because also Delta State is very viable. Okay, that fund is small money when it comes to the state capacity. But that notwithstanding, we must talk about it. For Lagos, we know that Lagos earns a lot and they also borrow a lot because they have capacity to pay back, okay, as much as possible. These are sub-sovereigns, okay? And so the federal government is interested as a matter of necessity because at the end of the day, what you call Nigeria is a conglomeration of states and not just the federal government. So these figures you see, the states are encouraged to pay up. But how would they pay up? It's for the states to have creative leaders, governors, who can creatively expand the earnings of a state. The allocation from the federal government is not enough to run a state. Because states have budgets. They have capital expenditure, they have recurrent expenditure. In some states, their recurrent expenditure far outstrip even their monthly allocation. That's the recurrent expenditure for these months outstrip. Like the state with the highest level of civil servants in Nigeria is Benue State. Okay, and then you ask yourself, what is the IGR of Benue State? And then what is the allocation? Benue State is not oil producer, they don't get extra 13%.
Yeah, very true.
And Delta State get extra 13% plus what they get from. And they have IGR that is also. Given that many of the cities in Delta State are emerging cities and they are doing very well. So when you look at all the states, you can tie the debt of each state to the kind of leaders they've had in the past years.
Okay.
Yes. Those ones that are fortunate to have profligate leaders who, you know, will take on the entire vow of the state and use it for project and assignment that will not impact on the lives of the citizens or generate more resources for them. I mean, the governors are not, they're not investing. How many states in Nigeria have investment? How many of them have investment? The reporter was talking about bonds and as means of raising funds. How many of these states are issuing bonds? I mean, I've never heard of it that states are issuing bonds. I know of the federal government.
Yeah.
I know of treasury bills, bonds and debentures.
Yeah.
Okay, but at state level, I don't think the money market. Let me say the capital market, because the capital markets at state level, are they doing anything?
They're not that robust enough
they are not
to raise bonds.
they are not structured in that way. Maybe because of the lack of federalism, I don't know. Because I know that in the United States, the states, they have robust, and the way they do roads there, they don't award contract, government. No. Individuals will just pick roads. You understand? You can pick this road from here to the stretch. You are the one that award the contract to the contractor. You are the one that will. Then once the road is finally done, you hand over to government. Then government puts your name on it. That's how they do it. All the roads, everywhere. No. There are roads into the forest where there are no houses. If you want to do racing, just be racing to any. The road, you keep going.
Wow.
You understand? No pothole. Individuals pick those roads. That's how they do it. So, sometimes companies pick those roads too in those areas. CSR and community effort, individual. For government, the ones that government will do as very, very capital intensive ones. Maybe they have a bridge, or you need to create an intersection. That's the one that government will do. But this one, they are saying I know that states cannot actually rely on what they get to determine how the pace, developmental pace they want. They need to borrow. They need to borrow to improve infrastructure. You understand? So, but this debt that we have, are they really justified? Many of them were used for politics. I'm telling you. Many of this debt we are seeing was used for politics. And a huge chunk of them were given to citizens to buy their votes. I'm just telling you. Government will not tell you this one. I'm the person that can say this one.
True.
To buy votes, then to do election, then to sponsor this, sponsor that, to be a running mate of one person, go and bring some money. So it's unfortunate that you see huge debt, you don't know where the money has gone to. And then we are seeing that huge debt in Delta State. And all of us, we are seeing heavy money in our pockets. And we are walking around with money up and down. We say, it's like that money with our pocket. This is what we are owing. When the federal government released, not too long ago, it was in 2022 now. 2022, yes. When the SS crude fund that Buhari released, Delta State got 14 billion of that money. Yes, they did. All of them kept quiet. It was Wicked that came out and said that.
So much money has been given to everyone.
That all this money has been given, that they should come and meet him. That these are the bridges he uses his own money to do. That you journalists, go and ask your governor what did he do with his own. And I'll give you the list of how much. We went to probe Delta State and we discovered that the state collected 14 billion. The state kept quiet. We didn't know it was Wicked that told us. You see? Then when we went to probe what they used that 14 billion to do, we met a smoke screen. Till today. Nobody knows.
But Barrister, looking at the...
That's part of that debt you are saying.
Yes, very true. And then looking at the tendencies and the leadership style of most of our governors, it's hard to, state some of these things as you've enumerated. Isn't it ever possible to have a governor that would, say, I am going to run my state like I am running a country, where it is believed that people, rather than going to the city center in the capital, of Nigeria, they would remain in my state because I would provide for them everything that they need. Do you think we still have such mentality in the life of our leaders anywhere in Nigeria?
David Umahi did it now.
In Ebonyi?
Yes.
Building white elephant projects that are not in use. The airport, 31 billion. Hardly did we see drop there. You
can criticize that of the airport. Because even me, I criticize the airport too. Yeah, but when you talk about infrastructure in the state, he did quite a lot in terms of infrastructure in the state. Wike also did. As stubborn as Wike is, Wike did a lot, But what I also fought them for is that most of those projects they do it in the capital city. They don't spread it to the hinterlands. So the next thing you are hearing, they are calling the local government chairman. Because they look at the other subs region of the state as what belongs to the local government chairman. That's how they look at it. This capital city where they live, they will revolutionize everything and make sure that everything is okay. You understand? So the spread that it requires is what they don't do. You understand? And that because of also their ambition, they don't do this thing wholeheartedly. They don't do it, they are doing it, and they are thinking of how they are going to come back. You understand? Then the moment they come back, they start to do this and they'll be thinking of how to get a successor. They're not doing wholeheartedly. Like, if anybody comes from anywhere that don't know me, they will say, this person did. And the resources is there to take these things on. The resources are there. But you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. In my own village, for example, my village produced the Commissioner for Work and Housing. It was a Commissioner for Work and Housing for 8 years. And in that 8 years, the road, the only access road into my village, was awarded and abandoned. I mean, the commissioner himself of Work and Housing attended the local primary school in my village, attended the local secondary school in my village. Under his watch, he expended 8 years. That road was awarded and abandoned.
He didn't find it necessary to look through.
And he didn't find it necessary to look through. He was awarding contract all over everywhere. The only access road into his own village, where his mother lived and died, where he built his own house, where the mother lived and died, the road is still abandoned today. You understand? So sometimes when you talk, they will say, I've started again. The last one they said is that I'm abusing the deputy governor. It was here that we did analysis on the issue. I don't know when I abused the deputy governor really, because I was talking about the issues and how we should be and the rest of that, and all that, and how things must go. Some rats that are employed by politicians to go around and write on Facebook came heavily against me that I am abusing the deputy governor. I should do this, I should not enter Delta State. The last time they said I should not enter Delta State, when I went to court, I snapped myself in court. I posted it, sent to some of them that I'm around. Where are they? And because I don't know their houses, I would have gone to their houses to meet them. Because this is no longer business as usual. You understand? You have leaders who are doing the wrong things. And because you cannot stand up for yourself, you now believe that when you defend the leaders, because people have this notion that when you defend the elite when they are doing the wrong thing, and they get to see that you are defending them, the elites will now call you into their fold and now make you among them, and then you will now make it. People are very stupid. The elites can never bring you into their fold and then turn your life to theirs, and then you start to flow with them. No. They know you are poor and stupid. Okay? What they will do is to give you some small money to continue to fool yourself, and then keep you far away from their affairs. You understand? Because they know that you cannot stand for yourself. Then for those of us who are abusing, that one of the guys that are abusing me is a photographer. When my friend was sworn in as the SSA to the governor, he was the one that called me on phone and was begging me that I should remind my friend to send him his own money, because a lot of photographers came and I had not received anything. He was calling me for 1 week. He's the one that went around writing all those things, and some other persons writing, they, I'm abusing the deputy government. Abuse what? What do you mean? You criticize people who are in place of responsibilities, they are not acting the way they should act. We sit down and criticize them, it's part of democracy. You want to cherry pick democracy. You want to pick the one that is convenient and leave the rest. Don't that criticism is part of democracy? Protest is part of democracy. You understand? So when you deal with retarded people, it's difficult to really, because in their small little mind, as a defending deputy governor, very soon deputy governor will not make them rich.
Overnight.
So I'm sorry for them. I'm sorry for them because they're myopic. They cannot see. They're happy with their oppressors. They are protecting their oppressors to make sure their oppressors are fine. Undermining their own lives and the lives of their children. The oppressors that have destroyed their own future and has even taken over to destroy their children's future is who they are defending. For some of us that have that epignosis, that revelation, that you cannot destroy me and destroy my generation, we will stand against oppression. That's what we do. I cannot cave in.
But sometimes, lots of people, speak to, these issues. You see activists, really doing a lot going against, leaders and people who do what they're supposed to do. And sometimes when they have the opportunity of being on that particular seat, then they understand why they should not have said what they have said. Adams Oshomole is a textbook example. He was there criticizing President Olusegun Obasanjo as much as he could. When he got there, he understood that it wasn't really an easy run. So have you had the opportunity of maybe thinking on the other side of the divide and ask yourself, really?
Yeah. There's a place for activism. Yes. There's a place for activism. Activism does not mean you are saying it's easy. Activism has its function. Even if you are escalating it and you are exaggerating it, it's good. It keeps the person on his toe. If not for activism, what they will do? Of course, they're already destroying things. But if there is absolute silence, they will do more evil. In the first outing we had, in the first after the protest, the first meeting the governor had with our people, he said we're making noise. When we hit him, we came back here, we did that, address the issue. The last meeting they had now, which by the way we're addressing today, the last meeting we had, I didn't mention noise. It was so calm. His voice was, he was saying...
So he got the message?
Why? Now, they are vilifying me, now I'm telling you now. They downloaded and sent to him. In this meeting, you now said, he didn't say noise, it was calm. He now said some persons are attacking his personality on the social media. And but he now raised some issues again. Because who were saying the protest was peaceful. He now raised another issue. He said that what do we mean by peaceful protest? Was it that we beat up a serving commissioner?
Was it true?
Not true. No, we are doing the listen today now by 3 o'clock. This is a notice. We are responding to him today. He said we beat up a serving commissioner. That we the protesters, we blocked the road and started extorting money from motorists. That we destroyed 4 vehicles. And we attacked this person on social media. Those are the 4 things. This meeting was held on Thursday. We wanted to respond on Friday. We said, no, let's wait till this week. So these 4 allegations, silence is admission under the law. So we are responding today to say that the deputy governor must bring evidence. Because the commissioner that came was the commissioner for youth. And when he came, we have pictorial evidence and video when he was addressing the crowd. And people were only videoing with their phones. People were videoing with their phones. We have all the photos. Then, his car that they say we vandalized, that people vandalized. The pictures of the car, we have it. It was when he was driving off, people were hitting the normal protests. He said they vandalized. So perhaps he went back to report that he was beaten or whatsoever. I don't know where the deputy governor got this thing from. And then that we collected money from motorists. The deputy governor will have to provide video evidence on this. Because he has defamed us. We know he has immunity under the law, but immunity ends after his tenure. So, now, these are the things we are going to address today. And when we finish it and put it out there, the people will come again and say, I've started abusing the deputy governor. You understand? Because of their ignorance. We're not abusing the word. We didn't even, the protest was not against the state. It was against the federal government. They step into it and call it noise. So what am I supposed to do? I'll go and sleep? What am I supposed to do? So when everyone say, well, I say noise, just yes sir, yes sir. Because it's the one that, because when he gives these people 10,000, the deputy governor of my state is not as cool as I am. It's just opportune. You understand? But when you say this thing, they'll say, I started abusing the deputy governor. Especially the Ndokwa man that's very fearful. They will start to tell you that, hey, no. Some of us were not raised like that. We're not raised like that. You can't threaten me. When I threaten you, I'm just looking at you. And what is in my mind is, what can I use to break this guy's head? That's what is in my mind really. But I want to do that. But because when people are weak, they want everybody to be weak like them. It won't work. You understand? It can't work. We have to respond, and you have to give us evidence and show us where you got all that from. Deputy governor does not mean you should talk. Just talk. You have to back up what you're saying with evidence. People whom you represent on the street protesting, you say they are making noise. What level of representation is that? You have not called them, you have not had any meeting with them, you don't even know why they are protesting, you just jump into it. They were not calling you to come and provide. We know you are 2 years in office. They weren't calling you. The project was already awarded since 2005. Step down, we're oil producing, step down this thing, spread it across 500 kilometers. That's 50 kilometers radius, rather. It's already an ongoing project. The completion is nowhere to be found over 20 years after. That's what they are saying. It's not your job. It's just yesterday that they said they amend the law that state can now, what do you call it? Generate and distribute. Not too long ago, well, 2 years back, not even up to 2 years. So we're not calling you. It's not you. You jump into it and making noise. Like, what are you trying to? So when you now say that, we'll now go and say that. No, don't do like that.
Very true. The reason why we have to, talk about this and mirror it to what we're saying today is simply because of the reportage that we have, the debt burden on the states and how that the recklessness of leaders, of our sovereign state have become, over the years and why it is a very big issue that we think if we do not resolve it, we'll have pockets of these issues in different communities. Your community, barrister, is going through electricity. Other communities might be going through some other things. Erosion might be a very big problem they have, and they've been calling the government to come and do something, and no one is even answering them.
Our own is not just electricity. We are just attacking electricity now first. Road. After now, we'll be asking for road network in Ndokwa once the light comes on. And after that one, we're asking for medicals. Yes, you have to give us medicals. We're asking for all the things we lack.
What about security?
Security. We're oil producing. We're not supposed to be, they're not supposed to equate us with any community in Nigeria. Yes, you're not supposed to be at the level with any community in Nigeria. Yes, that's so much. In the entire world, there's nowhere in the entire world where you have 7 oil companies working concurrently in any city. We have 7 running day and night, and there's no light there. And we're talking, so we're making noise.
All right. I do not know if you have a further question. No, we just got it. Well, just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, just like Barrister did say, we would have a continuation of this where most definitely we would do a deeper dive, fleshing out everything, especially with the guests that we would have to do justice to some of these things. As a people in the media, it's our responsibility to sit right there in the middle and equally look at the issues, from one side and from the other side, and ensure that we come to a resolution at the end of the day. So prepare yourself. We'll be having it in a bit. At the time we would have that. We still have Barrister Evans Ofeli, who would be joined with other people to do justice to some of these things. So, but we would leave it at this particular point and say thank you so very much for being part of it. Thank you so much, Barrister.
My pleasure.
All right, it's about the time, and we have to go. Right. Please do well to visit us. You can find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. I am Henry Ikwebike.
And I am Candy Bodero.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.